It is October 8th. I'm ready to get some things going this morning. Hope you guys are as well. The guy named Rye is to my left this morning. Producer Rye alongside. What's shaking, my friend? You got things under control?
Yeah, everything's under control.
Have you ever broke a sweat in your life?
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten upset?
Yeah, I was upset yesterday. I'm not going to talk about it.
I love you. I love your demeanor. Producer Rye's demeanor is straight and narrow. It's like, doo.
Yeah, I try to be. But
that's good, man. That is good.
Went to my alma mater yesterday. Went to St. Mary's.
St. Mary's in the house.
Yeah, talked to some people. It was nice. It was fun. Saw a little JV football action.
Oh, how about that? Are things a little better over at St. Mary's?
Oh, yeah. It's really good. I love what they're doing over there. You know, it's like they're really trying to keep that community and try to build that community up. And I just love it. You know, it's a lot of nice people there that really care for the kids out there. And
it's been amazing what they've been able to do with the trade. It's literally St. Mary's was saved. They saved themselves. Mike England,
like
a visionary as an educator, and he doesn't get enough credit.
Yeah,
he really doesn't. What St. Mary's has done.
Yeah, I think it deserves more attention, and I'm gonna fight for that.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I want to ask you what got you all fired up. Then I thought you were gonna laugh when I asked you. And you're like, "Yeah, I did."
Yeah. No, it's just life just lives, and you just have to keep going now. You know?
Did you just say life?
Yeah, life just life, man. Like there's only a few things that really get me mad, and I'll just gloss over it. The one thing that really gets me mad though is car trouble. I hate car trouble.
Oh yeah.
That's why I have to get this oil change, get everything set before.
How about when you do things for people and then they bite the hand that has fed them in the past?
Oh, that's the worst.
But you should never do something for somebody kindly. Yeah. And this had nothing to do with kind of just common respect, working job place. Then they bite your hand, or they have some issues of their own and they try to just throw you around. Yeah. But come again though, here's the thing. When you go into ownership, or if you're the boss, or if you're ever in charge of people, good luck. And and owners know this, business owners know this, managers know this. Everybody thinks they can do the manager. Not everybody. Many people think they can do the manager's job better. They do. It's not always easy to be the manager. Yeah, that's a fact. But we're glad you're with us today. Arch City now. We like to talk things St. Louis related. We do it for 2 hours, Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. Jumping on the show. Love it when you're with us. The weather is fantastic. Anything else you guys want to promote, do it. You can do it on X, YouTube, Facebook. We're there. You can also give us a call when it comes to news topics. We'd love to talk to you with that. Things that are happening in the St. Louis area. All those and around, we will do that as well. We'll promote the Blues today, give you a preview of what you can expect at the concession stands this year as well. A lot of new food options if you're heading to the game. Of course, the Blues play tomorrow night. Some more updates on the Mizzou football game with Alabama. An update regarding how expensive that ticket is. The Kansas game that weekend, it was the most expensive football ticket in America. This week, it's not the most, but it's close. It's very close. For Ryan, the 10 least unhealthy, or 10 least healthy, fast food restaurant chains in America.
I know McDonald's isn't on the
I don't know. We'll see.
Shout out to McMuffins.
But you know what? Their double quarter pounder.
That thing is.
It's actually the beef is real beef.
It is.
Yes.
That's why it tastes so good.
That's the real deal. That's why it's so damn expensive too.
Yeah, I was wondering that.
Oh yeah.
The burgers don't taste.
Oh yeah. Also on the show, the FAA is warning of flight delays because of this government shutdown. Will that end up being a bad situation? I saw this last week, and I haven't had a chance to bring it up, and I watched him yesterday as the NHL got back on. But TJ Oshie, former Blue, very popular here with a new job. How about Missouri ranked as the 10th most unsafe state in America? We'll talk about that as well. Dolly Parton may not be as healthy. Her sister's asking for prayers. I mean, that's kind of a serious situation going on there. We can get into that. You've also got Several news stories today we'll be talking about. St. Louis sheriff still trying to fight the attorney general to have a lawsuit thrown out so he can stay in his job. I like this one. MSD is owed millions of dollars. So they're listing the companies that owe them all the money. They're like, please pay us, get on a payment plan and go from there. Payment plans are hey, you may not have all the money at once. I get it, but get on a payment plan. That's all you need to do. Steak and Shake, wanting to become the most patriotic fast food place in America. You'll see what they're doing throughout the St. Louis area as well. An interesting racial disparity home ownership study that was put together by the St. Louis Realtors Association. We can break that down. Bob Ross. You probably don't know who Bob Ross is.
The painter with the
You
afro.
do, yeah. Okay. Well, Bob's he passed away years ago.
Yeah.
But as a kid, one of my favorite things to do if I was homesick was watch Bob Ross.
What he used to
He
say?
would put me right to sleep.
Yeah, the pretty little trees.
Little Van Dyke Brown sitting over here, little happy tree. Yeah, let's give him a friend. Oh, yeah, look at that bushy little friend. Bob Ross paintings, trying to help out public television. There were some cuts from the government for a variety of reasons. We're not going to get to the political side of it, but I don't know. I think there's like 11 to 13 Bob Ross paintings they're hoping can fetch a pretty dime to come in and help pay for some of the funding that they need to get taken care of. We'll get into that. What else did we have here today? Yeah, and I'm just telling you, robberies can happen anywhere. We'll tell you about one that happened down in the Chesterfield Valley the other night at midnight. Anything can happen at any time. So anything else you guys want to jump in with, do so. We're here till 8 o'clock. Glad you guys join us. Hot Take Central 2.0, of course, comes up from 8 to 10 o'clock today. Then that's with Cam Jansen, the former Blue, and Jim the Cat Hayes, the Cardinals broadcaster. And then from 10 to 11 today, it's the MIZ STL show previewing the Missouri-Alabama game. There's been a change in that point spread as well. We'll get into that. And then from 11 to 1 o'clock, it's the afternoon show with Charlie Tuna. Those things are all there for you, your viewing pleasure. And of course, anything else that comes up, jump in. Let us know. Let's talk. We'll have some fun today when it comes to what's happening all around the St. Louis metropolitan area. There's a concert tonight over at the Factory. They send us those. If you guys have other places that you want to talk about when it comes to concerts, just let us know from that standpoint. I'd like to get some of these news stories out of the way earlier, too. And, of course, from a sports standpoint, we told you we'll promote the Blues, the obvious Mizzou Tigers coming up this week. But also, baseball last night, and the Yankees, they had a big win, too. I mean, you had a situation last night where the Mariners beat the Tigers. They lead that series 2-1, Game 4 in Detroit. The Yankees, the Yankees, that was an interesting freaking game. What a comeback for New York. They literally were down in that game. Looked like they were done. They were down 2-1. Then they were down 6-1. And they came all the way back and won 9-6. And Aaron Judge hit a 3-run game-tying home run to make it 6-6. And then the Yankees just went on from there. So that series right now, Toronto leads 2-1, but next game coming back to New York. They're right back there. So some of the series heating up, getting pretty interesting on this Wednesday, October 8th, because you got the Mariners and Tigers playing again today. You got the Brewers at the Cubs after the Brewers just destroyed the Cubs in Milwaukee. The Blue Jays playing at the Yankees, and then the Phillies at the Dodgers. So you've got 4 baseball games for your viewing pleasure tonight as well. Enjoy. If you're a baseball fan or you just like some of that on in the background. But we have all of that for you as well as we talk about. Anything else? X, YouTube, Facebook. If you want to give us a call, we'll take your calls as well and stories that are here. The phone number to give us a call is 855-282-8255. 8255. Once again, that is 855-282-8255. Producer Rise here, Vic Faust. If you guys have something you want to shout out as well, do that. We'll talk about it. And, of course, get you up and rolling on this day. Hey, the weather is supposed to be pretty darn phenomenal again today. How about yesterday? Much cooler temperatures all of a sudden. It was hoodie weather for producer Rye and others who love their hoodies. And then today, it's going to be even better. You've got sunshine, about 73. Thursday looks like 76 in sun. Or 73 for, 73, 76. 80 for, I think, Friday, Saturday. Just what terrific weather that we have. And by the way, I always ask you, were you outside last night? Did you see the moon? I love these moons. Big moon energy, baby. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, I love watching the moon. Very, very bright outside as well. So we got those stories. We're here till 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock, 6/16, October 8th. This was a sad story from Monday, but the investigation is still going on. That wrong way crash that we talked about, it was northbound I-70, literally heading towards 70, right before I-70. A wrong way driver. Now we know a little bit more about some of the details. We still don't have all of the details, but anytime you have a quadruple fatal crash because of a wrong way driver on 170, it's a big story. Literally happened at 1 o'clock where we're told a Chevy Equinox that was traveling the wrong direction collided head on with a Jeep Grand Cherokee. Literally just all of a sudden, here it comes the wrong way. The impact caused that Jeep to overturn, leading to a secondary collision with a Nissan Pathfinder and a Toyota Corolla. If this ever happens, and one of the reasons we bring it up too, safety officials say that you should always stay alert, follow the signs, and keep your focus on the road, especially in areas known for confusing ramps and lane shifts. So I guess they're saying that there were some confusing ramps, maybe lane shifts over in that area. I don't know. But here was the breakdown. You're talking about 3 people that were in that Jeep, including a 60-year-old man from St. Albans and 2 passengers from Hazelwood. They passed away at the scene. And then that Equinox, this is interesting information, which was going the wrong way, was being driven by an 88-year-old person. So it was an 88-year-old man driving the wrong way. He was taken to the hospital where he also later passed away. So that Equinox hit the Jeep Grand Cherokee. 3 people inside the Jeep and then the wrong way driver and the Equinox all eventually passed away. Fortunately, nobody else was injured, but that is some devastating news from that standpoint. So they said that the Equinox entered the highway going the wrong way, somehow, some way. The area near Lambert Airport, allegedly, I guess, is known for its confusing ramps and lane shifts, they say, which could have contributed to the incident. But you had northbound lanes the other day, shut down for 5 hours as they were getting information. So now I don't know if they'll know exactly where the person went in and why, but now you know more about the specifics of some of those people, which is just it's a sad story. But we were just, obviously given an update from that standpoint, news headlines. Forest Park this week, they're having to take down pretty well-known pedestrian bridge. It's scheduled for demolition on Friday because a vehicle hit the low clearance bridge right on the Forest Park Parkway. So a lot of damage. So that bridge recently was, they had it under inspection after getting hit, but they say that it should be removed, citing safety concerns. So that pedestrian bridge over there is going to be taken down. So they're going to take that down next week. Actually, you're going to take it down on Friday. They're going to take the low clearance bridge away. So what they say during the demolition, westbound Forest Park Parkway is going to be closed from Kings Highway to DeBoliver. So eastbound will be closed from Union to Kingsway. And, you know, there's people who would be upset because they love to use that bridge down there. It happens because a lot of people say that's the main way that they enter the park, especially, you know, it's the most convenient route as well when you're coming from the Central West End. So they're going to figure out what they can do to get a new bridge back up and see where they're going. You got to take alternative routes if you're headed through that area. But that's scheduled to begin on Friday. And I guess they hope to have it done at least by Saturday. So they'll do that down there. How about this for the headline? Bob Ross. I'm just glad that my young partner over here knew who Bob Ross was. 30 paintings, not 13, 30 paintings created by the legendary Bob Ross are going to be up for auction to help support public television stations. Some of the public television stations are suffering because of national grants or funding that was being given to them. So obviously Bob Ross tried to make his art available to everybody, and he was big on PBS, Channel 9 for a long time, public television. So they're going to auction these off. Bonhams in LA will auction 3 of Ross's paintings. The other auctions are going to follow in London, New York, Boston, and online. All profits pledged to stations that use content from the distributor, American Public Television. So they're trying to help with licensing fees that allow them to show popular programs like The Best of Joy of Painting, based on Bob Ross's show. So Bob Ross Paintings trying to help out. Oh, the cool man, Bob Ross. By the way, it's been a long time. Bob Ross passed away in 1995 from complications of cancer. It was after 11 years in production with The Joy of Painting. So he became super popular even before he passed away, but even very, very, very more popular after. It was always weird because he was an Air Force drill sergeant. Literally was an Air Force drill sergeant, but he was so calm, his calm demeanor. Enjoy the painting. So here's one to Bob Ross and his painting to try to make some money to help out. It's interesting because how much you think some of those would go for? Bonhams sold 2 early 1990s mountain and lake scenes from Bob Ross. Guess how much? One for $114,800. Another one for $95,000. Then they had auctions of 30 paintings. The auctions that are coming up with the 30 paintings, they have an estimated total value of around $1 million. 30 paintings with an estimated value of around $1 million. So they're hoping that that can help. So go get them, people. Bob Ross still making things happen. Thanks, guys, for jumping on Arc City Now today. It's 6:24. If you guys want to come in with your comments, we appreciate it. Say good morning. That's a good thing, too. Facebook, X, YouTube. We're doing our thing here from the studios in Kirkwood, Missouri, the J. Randolph Jr. studio. Love being here. Love talking with you guys. All these things that are going on when it comes to our news headlines today and moving from there. I was talking about this a little bit earlier. It doesn't matter where you are. Somebody sometime may do something stupid. Down in the Chesterfield Valley the other night, just after midnight on October 4th, you had a guy that came in with a pistol to the new Dave's Hot Chicken in Chesterfield, demanding money. His office and attempted to take a bank bag with cash from the manager. They literally were fighting. There was a struggle between the manager and Whitley. That suspect took the bag and took off. They called police. Officers were told of the description, and they found Whitley and arrested him. Yeah, so obviously he was charged with first-degree robbery, armed criminal action, receiving stolen property, and fourth-degree assault. So once again, it doesn't, I mean, if you're out and about, you just always have to be as safe and careful as possible. And I'm sure managers know that. You work there, people can do stuff. Convenience stores, things can happen. And we've talked and focused on some of those stories in the past, but they happen and they're real. Some of those things, unfortunately, become kind of a pain that you have to deal with. This is Art City Now. I wanted to make sure that we're on the same page with this too. There's a concert tonight, if you guys didn't know about. We'll get into that here. If you're looking for something to do, tonight you've got, let me pop it up here, my friend, Ziggy Marley and Burning Spear. So Ziggy Marley and Burning Spear, those tickets are almost out. Over at the Factory in Chesterfield, that concert begins at 7:30 if you guys are looking to go to that. Also, Napoleon Dynamite Live. That's tonight at 7:30 as well. And then Nurse Blake tomorrow night. All of those at the Factory this week. You can get your tickets. You can go online and get your tickets as well if you want to. But just some other things that are happening throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. Jumping on the show, we'll get to your comments as well. Coming up on the other side, we'll promote the Blues tomorrow night. People getting excited about it. They've got a new menu out, or at least a menu that has been added to, as people get excited about that. The hockey season is officially underway. So you can bring your predictions for the Blues if you want to. Are you headed to the game? Looking forward to it? Any of those things you want to do, jump on in. Let us know. We'll talk about that. We are Art City Now. You can give us a call too. The phone number there is 855-282-8255. Once again, that's 855-282-8255. Jump in on X, YouTube, and Facebook. Anything else going on, let us know. It's going to be a beautiful day throughout the St. Louis area. Talking about highs in the low 70s, some sunshine. Fall is here, and we're just trying to make the most of it. Once again, go to Lou Information. We are your Lou Information station. We're live and on demand at louinfo.com. You've got Hot Take Central 2.0 coming up, 8 to 10 o'clock following us today. The MIZ STL show is from 10 to 11. And then Charlie Tuna takes you through the lunch hour from 11 to 1 on this Hump Day, Wednesday, October 8th in the St. Louis area. Anything else happening, let us know. What's going on in your nook and cranny of the area? We'll talk about it. Producer Rise alongside, I'm Vic Faust. We'll be back with more, including talking about the Blues and a whole bunch of these other stories just right after this. going for you today. Producer Rise alongside. I'm Faust. You guys jump in, X, Facebook, YouTube. Some people jumping in saying good morning, happy Wednesday, beautiful day throughout the St. Louis area. Would love to talk with you. You can talk with others as well. If you want to give us a call and talk about some stories as well, give a shout out. You can do that. Phone number 855 282. Excuse me. Go figure. I had the whole break. Voice was clear. As soon as we come back on, coughing. Sorry about that. 855-282-8255. 855-282-8255. Okay. Getting into some news stories, some sports stories, things from that standpoint. How about the Blues? They get to action tomorrow night. If you want some tickets, you got to get in there now. Not exactly cheap. People want to go. Supply and demand issue. But you have wonderful options if you're going to the game when it comes to food. There is no doubt about that. I mean, no doubt. So the Blues are letting people know about some of the new options that they'll have if you go to the game when it comes to food. And why not? It's your turn. It's your time. So here are some of the food offerings for the 2025-2026 season. On the plaza level, fans can go to the Gastro Pub stand. That's run by the Blues in-house concessions. So it's going to highlight the elevated pub fare. I mean, they got a steak sandwich. They've got a honey stung chicken tender item that you can get into. Wings, classic buffalo, garlic parmesan, raspberry, chipotle, Cajun ranch, dry rub. They got their chili cheese hot dog or corn dog. They've got their dill pickles. And they've got a warm brownie mug sundae. Yeah.
Vic, where is this again?
Yeah, it's at the Blues. That's on the plaza level.
Oh,
maybe they can bring that in for us. Try some of that out. Yeah. Also, the newsstands that they have, they've also got a Tex-Mex stand. Rosalita's Cantina and Woke Stand, St. Louis area, are in there. They'll have some new options. Some mini donut stand. The Ramblin' Rounds will have an additional location. Also, if you're looking for some local eats, High Point Drive-In, Steve's Hot Dogs, Chicken Out, Sugar Fire, Isis, Plain and Fancy, Farm Truck, all returning this season for your pleasure. They've also got crumble cookies this year if people are into that. So lots of options when it comes to heading to Blues games. Yeah, they just got a lot of really good stuff. By the way, the crumble cookie offerings, like chocolate chunk. They've also got a limited edition cookie crafted just for Blues fans and exclusive to the arena. It'll only be sold at the arena. So that stand will be on the mezzanine level at Portal 52. So when you go in, they have little maps, they have diagrams, places we can go and check out the food. Just give yourself enough time. If you can get to the game a little bit early, plan your time, it'll work out great, and see what you can do in regards to watching the Blues take down the Minnesota Wild tomorrow night. That game at 6:30. A lot of people looking forward to watching the Blues, as I am. No doubt about it. Big day to watch and view and everything else that they have going on. What's your option? What's your opinion for the season when it comes to the Blues? Obviously, I think they're going to have a really good year. And that's why we're here talking about it. People are excited. They should be. A lot of big games. So the Blues play at home tomorrow night. Then they go on the road for 2 games to Canada. Then they come back for 4 home games. So lots of opportunities to watch the Blues this month over in St. Louis. We're certainly looking forward to it. See what's going to happen with the team. I also know that it kind of starts where we are from this weekend and this week when it comes to sports. So you've got the Blues tomorrow night. You got a lot of high school football on Friday. And then you've got Mizzou and Illinois playing some big games on Saturday. That's what we were talking about a little bit earlier. When it comes to Mizzou, you've got to, I mean, arguably one of the biggest, most important games in the history of Missouri football. It is. It's up there as they host Alabama coming in on Saturday. All right. Why is it important? Well, it's important for them. It's important for the school. It's important for the team, the town. And I thought this was interesting, too, as we've been following this, and I said we would be. Following this sports line and what Vegas thinks and where bettors are, that point spread of the game began with Missouri as a 5-point underdog at home playing Alabama, which I think most Missouri fans would have said, okay, that's decent. That's fine. Well, guess what? That line has gone all the way down to 2.5 points. That means people have been betting, putting that money on Mizzou down to 2.5 points. Over on our sister station, STL Sports Central, I was listening to Bernie Miklasz talk about it, talking about how it's the most important game ever for Eli Drinkwitz. One of the biggest that we know ever when it comes to Mizzou. When it comes to what's happening there, just so many things that are happening around that football game and what it could mean, not only for Missouri, but for St. Louis. A lot of St. Louis kids play on that team. People getting excited about that and what's happening. Illinois with a big game, of course, this week as well. This weekend, they continue to try to have a good season, bouncing back after they had some problems, obviously, when it came to that Indiana game. So anything else from that game? If you're going, you can let us know. Keep us posted on that. The other thing that gets exciting too about that Missouri team when they play, because we cover everything here, when they do play this Alabama team who likes to throw the ball, Missouri has 2 of the top 3 pass rushing quarterbacks in America right now when it comes to the pressure rate. It's not always all about the sack. It's affecting throws as well and getting to the quarterback. 2 of the top 3 in America, number 2 and number 3 from Missouri. That would bode well. Damon Wilson and Zion Young, both in the top 2, which is very, very good for this defense. And obviously that's something that is, it's huge for this team and what they need in regards to making this season go as good as it can. And they're rolling. They're rolling right now, and now they have another step that they need to take this week. And, of course, we'll be covering that. We'll be following it this weekend. And if you didn't know, another reason why we bring it up, we also do a Mizzou post-game show after every game. Chris Pelican, myself, and the color voice of the Missouri Tiger football team, Howard Richards. Every Saturday, we do that. Every now and then, we have other people who will jump in on the show from a local standpoint and from around the country. So check us out from that standpoint. And then, of course, if you wanted to know more, you can also listen to the Mizzou STL show, which is coming up today at 10 o'clock. Grant Salzman will have some guests in. That show is done Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I do it with Grant on Mondays. And you can learn more about what's happening from the MIZ-ZOU standpoint when this game comes up. Okay. Also, stories that we're covering and looking at when it comes to St. Louis. I really found this interesting, what MSD is doing. The Missouri School Sewer District. And sometimes, you get to that point where it's like, we got to do something. We're talking about hospitals, housing complexes, building groups. MSD is now listing the people, the companies that owe them money. They say thousands of account holders owe the Metropolitan St. Louis Sewer District over $100 million. That's a lot of money. That is a lot. I don't even know how you get to that point. So they also say that the top 10 delinquent account holders alone owe millions. Just 10 owe millions. MSD's spokesperson says that we've already given them the service and they haven't paid for it, which means someone else is having to cover those costs. That's the issue, is that somebody else is having to cover the cost when these people don't pay. He's like, yeah, they say that paying customers, unfortunately, are the ones who are having to pick up the slack. So they say it's not possible to shut off service in the St. Louis area because you just can't block sewer lines. And with MSD serving areas with several water companies, it becomes even more difficult to work each water service. So they feel like they're desperate, that they've been put between a rock and a hard place. So they're trying to come out. I guess that you would call it maybe shaming them into paying, or at least getting on some sort of payment plan and moving from that standpoint. One person who rents an apartment at Northern Village and said that she doesn't want her water to get shut off, that Northern Village in St. Louis owes $401,000 in sewer payments. $401,000. Now, when the local news went to do the story to talk about it, somebody from the apartment actually came out and spoke and said that they were shocked that the number was that high. They said that they recently bought the property to clean it up and had no idea that they were inheriting the bill. Let me tell you something. If you're buying a company and you don't know that they have a $400,000 bill with MSD, something's wrong. I think they knew that they had that bill. They just got to figure out how they're going to pay it. They said that they're not here to screw any companies. They're here to work with everyone peacefully because there's no other way. That's what you say. They said they're not going to run from the bill. That's good. But that does happen a lot where you have new companies come in and buy properties. The Paul Brown Lofts, that's another one. They were just purchased just over 3 weeks ago to a month ago. New company out of Atlanta purchased that, and there's a lot of work to be done on that building. So I understand how that goes. How about this? There's also a city on the list, Kinloch. Kinloch owes MSD a whole bunch of money. Court records indicate that the city of Kinloch have unpaid bills to MSD totaling over $407,000. And then they went, the news station went to ask the Kinloch City Hall rep. Fox did the story. And they didn't say anybody was available. Sorry, nobody can. And they couldn't share the names of public officials. So that's a lot of money. Just those two accounts alone, over $400,000 each. But there's so many more. Car Square Tenant Corp, another housing company, just north of downtown. They have a massive bill. They say that they've agreed to a payment plan, which will bring them current within 12 months. So that's good. Just trying to get on that payment plan. That's the key right there. SA Hospital Group, delinquent over $365,000. They were a company that was tied to St. Alexius Hospital property. They said that they inherited the bill from a prior company's bankruptcy. Yep, that can happen as well. He also said that property is close to being sold and the tab will be paid off prior to the closing. So that's good news, at least for MSD to get their money. You've also got other groups that were listed on there, including Etzel Place, going over $240,000. Social Betterment Properties, court records list $371,000. And We Did It, LLC, listed at owing $281,000. And of course, Fox, before doing the report, said that they notified all of the companies to let them know that they were listing their names because MSD put it out and listed their names as well. They said MSD also says they've exposed a handful of accounts that are about 65,000 accounts that are behind. And they have tried to offer assistance programs to help those in need. That is a lot of freaking money where that gets to. And think about it, paying the sewer, MSD, It's one of those bills that you have to pay. May not appreciate it. Easy maybe to forget about, but that's a whole lot of money. And they're calling, and that's an interesting practice, just to say, listen, it's really difficult for us to turn off the service. Not impossible, but difficult. So please help us, help you so we can take care of these bills and get on some sort of a payment program. So MSD making some news on this Wednesday morning. This is Arch City Now. I'm Vic Faust. We've got producer Rye alongside today as well. You can jump in on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Give us a shout out today if there's somebody you want to talk about, if there's a company, if something from that standpoint is moving on, doing well, let us know. We'd love to do that. You can also give us a call. The phone number to do that is 855-282-8255. Once again, that's 855-282-8255. We'll talk about these things. We'll talk about the stories, bringing up headlines and so forth, all from out our St. Louis metropolitan area. It's 6:50 on this Wednesday morning. It's going to be another beautiful day, gorgeous day throughout the area. If you got plans, you can certainly let us know what you guys got going on from that standpoint. The Mega Millions has gotten back up again, guys, if you haven't seen that. The jackpot now to just under $600 million. No numbers were drawn last night. I always find it interesting because we did a poll and you've always seemed to have these numbers that are huge up in the 50s. They always seem to have a winning number in the 50s. And the numbers drawn last night, nobody won. So moves up to about $575 to $600 million for the next drawing, which will happen in a few days. So if you're into that, jump in. You can certainly have some fun with that. Also, as you know, we jump from story to story, and we appreciate it when you guys are with us doing that as well. And I like to do these fast food stories with my guy, Rye, because it's funny, and he usually gets a kick out of it. What are the 10 least healthy fast food chains in America? Do you have favorites? Are some of these surprising? Usually it's because of a lot of sodium, fat, sugar. They're always packed, it seems, with more than even what they're required to say, on their nutrition charts and things from that standpoint. But every now and then, you have to eat some fast food. Life dictates it. So, what are the 10? Well, here we go. We'll start with it. But did you have any ideas of what you thought would be on there, buddy? Did you say McDonald's? I think you said McDonald's, didn't you? I think you said McDonald's. We start with Wendy's.
Yes, I said McDonald's.
The Baconator Juggernaut.
What's that?
Wendy's is number one, thanks to their towering burgers, salty fries, and sugary sodas. The triple Baconator alone packs 1,350 calories, 38 grams of saturated fat, an incredible amount of sodium.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. That can derail. One meal can derail your nutrition for an entire day.
Yeah, I used to eat Baconators when I was a kid, which was not healthy. Junior Baconators, all that stuff.
The junior, well, they're getting you ready.
Yeah.
Getting you ready for the real deal.
Yeah, it's like minor leagues.
Yeah, those things can happen. Fat can happen on this burger. So Wendy's came in at number one. Number two, Sonic, because of their supersized sugar, and they got a ton of fried Temptations. Yeah. A 44-ounce Reese's Peanut Butter Cup shake. Well, yeah, it's the shake. It's 1,500 calories, 120 grams of sugar in one shake. Woo! Of course, they got the chili cheese tots, double burger. Do people really go to Sonic? I don't know. I don't know.
Sonic has had weird burgers. I remember they had a peanut butter burger.
Oh,
yeah.
What?
I remember it was like $2.99 too. It was very scary.
Okay, this would have been one of my choices on the list. Taco Bell coming in at number 3.
That's my guy.
Sodium, fat overload, creativity and convenience, but its meals often overwhelm nutrition guidelines. Double steak grilled cheese burrito, about 1,000 calories. and 2,260 milligrams of sodium. That's nearly a full day's allowance in one of their double steak grilled cheese burritos. Lots of sodium. Not great, as they say, for blood pressure. How about number 4 on the list? Number 4 coming in at the 10 least healthy foods. A Dairy Queen. No surprise there with all of the sugar and stuff that happens. A KFC. They call it the fried chicken champion of salt. Yeah, that's one way of putting it. Lots of calories, lots of milligrams, biscuits, potatoes, gravy, fried chicken, you name it. It tastes so good, and there's a reason why. Quiznos. We were talking about Quiznos last week. They're not doing such a great job when it comes to staying healthy. And how about number 7, McDonald's? There you go, my friend. The golden arches, among the most recognizable symbols, but they have some options that are not so great. So if I go there ever, I'll get just a double quarter pounder without cheese. I get it without cheese to try to help. Even though people say, well, there's protein in cheese. Yes, there are. But just to try to make it as good as possible. And then try to get the grease off if there's grease on the burger, because you can get a lot of grease. So McDonald's came in at 7. Smash Burger at 8. Little Caesars, the first pizza one, at 9. And then Chick-fil-A at 10. So don't everybody thinks that this Chick-fil-A is so healthy. Yeah, it tastes good. I've been telling people for years. Chick-fil-A uses more synthetic chemicals, and it's addictive to get you to come back and keep eating and eating. It's often viewed as the healthy alternative, but it's not. They talk about their chickens, and this isn't even getting into the kind of calories that they have, but lots of sodium all over the place. It tastes great, but tons of sodium. And then also man-made chemicals that they use. I think it was over 40 chemicals to make their chicken tenders. And you're like, wait a second. I thought it's just a chicken tender breaded. No, there's a bunch of chemicals that are put in there as well. So that gets the list as well. You just kind of look and see to get your idea of what's happening. All right. When we come back, we're going to take a quick break here just a little bit. We'll reset the stage for the second hour of the show. Blues in action tomorrow night. Mizzou coming up this weekend. We're also talking about some of the news stories that are happening. St. Louis sheriff trying to get a lawsuit dropped against the Missouri Attorney General, trying to keep his job. And speaking of fast food restaurants, we'll tell you what Steak and Shake's doing to be the most patriotic fast food company in America. It's pretty interesting what they're trying to do. Obviously, they were trying to use the bad marketing that Cracker Barrel had to promote their company not so long ago. And now they're doubling down on that philosophy. Maybe they're getting some more money trying to be the, quote, most patriotic fast food place in America. We'll update you on what's happening with the Dolly Parton situation, her family asking for prayer. She's not doing so well. And other news stories that are heading this way. And if you guys want to jump in, do so. X, YouTube, Facebook. Let us know what you want to talk about. Or you can give us a call and talk about some stories. 855-282-8255. Once again, 855-282-8255. Producer Rice here. I'm Vic Faust. It's Arch City now. We are done with 1 hour. We'll take a break and come back for hour number 2 of the show. We are your Lou Information Station. We're live and on demand at louinfo.com. getting you started up and out the door or whatever you've got going on every morning, Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m., right here from our studios live in Kirkwood, the J. Randolph Jr. Studios. Producer Ryan alongside. I'm Vic Faust. Jump on into the show if you want to. Let's talk stories. Let's talk St. Louis. What's happening all over the place. We try to do your news headlines and anything else that's going on. And I mean anything that's going on. 855-282-8255. Once again, 855-282-8255. Jump on into the show. You can also talk on Facebook, X, YouTube. Jump it on, talk with us, talk with others, get your shout outs out there. And of course, we will do anything and everything that we can. Okay. At getting those stories out there. Some other news headlines, because we do everything: news, sports, entertainment, community, water cooler talk. That's what we're trying to do. Get you up and out the door. With that being said, something else that's going on right now. We promoted it. We were talking about fast food restaurants, at least healthy. How about this? Sometimes all it takes is a good marketing person, somebody that has a vision, a dream, and they'll coincide with things. Well, when Cracker Barrel Bud Lighted themselves months ago, Steak and Shake jumped in, kind of started ripping Cracker Barrel and making fun of them, but also promoting themselves at the same time. I think they saw a surge in sales because now Steak and Shake has kind of doubled down on that philosophy. What am I talking about? Well, they use the Cracker Barrel debacle to promote themselves as American and patriotic and old school and holding to their roots of who they are as a company. Now Steak and Shake has announced the installation of some of the biggest flags, American flags in the country that they will be installing at their locations nationwide. So what they're doing is they've got, it's part of their effort to celebrate patriotism and support American values and American traditions. You know, they were founded in 1934. They're out of the Indianapolis area, if you didn't know that. 400 restaurants through 24 states. I thought they'd be in more than 24 states. Figured you'd see a Steak and Shake in almost every state. So they're getting all into America, American flags, American values, and so forth. So you will see those in the St. Louis area, massive flags popping up, and you'll know they're trying to support and get it on the America, the all America situation from that standpoint. So they put this out just a few days ago. They put the announcement out, and now they say that every Steak and Shake is getting the tallest and, quote, biggest American flag that local governments will allow them to display. So they want to be known not only as the Steak and Shake burger, they want to be known as the burger company with the biggest flags as well. So they are doing that. It's, believe it or not, there are people online who would rip this. But of course, it's 2025. But how could you rip a company promoting itself and American values if you live in America? I don't know. Makes no sense to me, but hey, to each their own. We live in America. Why wouldn't you want to promote America? Right out of the gate, Elon Musk, when it came out on X on Sunday, quote, "I'm ordering there tomorrow." Elon Musk becoming a Steak and Shake fan. So you'll start to see the flags. Somebody, another person who actually tweeted on this or X'd on this. What are American values and traditions? ? Fast food, beef, and obesity. I guess that's fair. Have at it. I mean, if you put something out there in public, people will rip you. People will say whatever they want. It's all good. Somebody else said, the timely pandering will be studied one day. Why now? Why even mention the size of a flag? My family has flown a flag since the 30s, well before I was born. We don't need to pander to be patriotic. That is true as well. That's a good point. Fair enough. Those were some of the ideas, some of the reasons things were happening and what they were trying to say. This all started, of course, as I said, going back to the Cracker Barrel debacle, because they had a post back on August 21st that said, at Steak and Shake, we take pride in our history, our families, and our American values. All are welcome. We never market ourselves away from our past in a cheap effort to gain the approval of trend seekers, when Cracker Barrel pretty much fried themselves, so to speak, from a financial standpoint, losing $150 or $60 million because they were changing their logo and changing everything about what made them to be great in the first place. So if that does it for you, great. Steak and Shake jumping in, and they'll be flying those flags. Would it make you want to go to Steak and Shake anymore? I don't know. Would it make you want to go there any less? All things are a possibility. It's one thing for sure we've learned. Everybody certainly has an opinion, and not everybody agrees with everything. That's for sure. As much as we'd like it, it doesn't work that way. From the chat line, good morning to you, Barbara. We appreciate you jumping in on the show. Also, good morning to you, Donna. If you guys have stories that you want to talk about, let us know. If there's something happening in the area, let us know as well. We're grateful for that. Thank you for jumping in, letting us know what's happening in your neck of the woods, or if there's anything you want to promote in the area. And of course, when we talk about St. Louis, it's the entire metropolitan area. We're in anywhere that you can hear us. We're talking about those situations. Donna jumps in on the chat line and says, by the way, is it larger than the White House flag? No, they don't give sizes. The one thing to know what Steak and Shake is doing when it comes to the All-American Pride that you'll see throughout the metro area, it's as large as a city will allow a flag to be. There are codes. There's rules in every city. Every city has the code. Now, you would hope that there's not a city or code that would let you have like a 6x6 flag or something like that. It's like, well, 6x6, whatever the largest flag that they can fly is, they will fly. So who knows? Some city may let you fly some massive flag, and Steak and Shake probably would do it, at least from what we've seen. To each their own, have some fun with it. That's why we tell the story of some of those things that are happening. 7:12 is the time on this Wednesday. Happy Hump Day, October 8th. Hope you guys have a great day. We always try to be as positive and happy as we can, getting the stories out there and having some fun with you in the mornings and talking things over as we wake up every morning here till 8 o'clock. Of course, the former Blue Cam Jansen and Cardinals broadcaster, Jim the Cat Hayes, follow us every day, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 o'clock. And today on Wednesday, it's every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we have the MIZ show, everything Mizzou related as well. A huge game coming up Saturday when it comes to the Tigers and Alabama. So you can listen to Grant Salzman. I do that show with Grant on Mondays, but that show is Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We've also got that producer Rye pointing at me because of why? Why, Rye?
Because I was about to say Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. If I love Wednesdays, because Grant comes in, get to do a little bit more editing, a little bit more quicker work.
Hey, by the way, if any of you older people are wondering about the hope for America's younger, what are you? What is a 22-year-old? Are you Generation Z?
Yeah,
I like Gen Z, by the way. I do.
I think I like.
I had my questions about millennials for a while.
I don't like millennials. I'm gonna be honest. It's because they be like, it's like they're trying to still be hip, but at the same time they think they're just so much older. Too at the same.
We need to get a camera for you. I'd like to incorporate. Can we incorporate a camera in here for you sometime?
Oh yeah, it's already in the works, Vic.
All right,
it's already in the works.
Producer Rye is the same age as my son and daughter.
Oh wow,
it puts things into perspective. Yeah. You didn't see me as a dad, did you?
No, I could see you as a dad. I'd be like, oh yeah, he could be a cool football dad.
So
I was like, yeah.
Here's my point. When it comes to Gen Z, the Gen Z people that I'm around, you guys bust your butts.
Yeah, that's one.
You guys think for yourselves. There's an energy and attitude and effort that I see. And maybe it's just the people that I'm around. And not that age has to be everything, but you're 22. And I just see a lot of people, I'm around a lot of people who are your age in the area who do care, who want things, who are better, who want things better for their lives. their communities, their America, and so forth. And that starts with my own kids as well, who are around your age. And I just wanted to promote the fact because you do a terrific job and just keep going. I mean, I just see it. There's just like I said, a hunger, a lack of apathy, which is a great thing with a lot of the younger people that I see.
I really appreciated that, especially about how I've been thinking recently. I really appreciate that, Vic, on
Good.
so many levels.
Yeah. And I'm not blowing smoke, and it's not like you can give me anything. And so I'm saying, hey, can Ryan give me this? Can Ryan give me that? It's just, we need to help people. We try to be as positive as we can to encourage younger people as well to go out and make something for themselves, because that's how this country got to where it was. Not that it's perfect, but if there's one thing in life we've learned, nothing's for free. You have to have great foundations, and you start to build. Usually anything that comes really fast and easy doesn't stick around, and it can be that fleeting glory. So we just try to stay as positive as we can, promoting all things St. Louis. On that, if you got somebody that you want to promote, give a shout out to, do it. X, YouTube, Facebook at Arch City Now. Once again, that's X, YouTube, and Facebook at Arch City Now. The phone number, you can give us a call as well, is 855-282-8255. Once again, that's 855-282-8255. Were you going to pop in with something? Did I keep talking?
Yeah, I was just saying, I do love my generation, because my generation, when they really find something they're passionate about, they really, really work hard about it. But when it's something that we don't really care about, we just are like, nah, so it's just like, find your passion. That's what I tell anybody in high school, just find your passion.
Thank you for jumping in on the Facebook chat line and watching. Thank you for jumping in and watching us on X as well. We appreciate when you guys come in and support us, and just talk with us and talk with others, and let people know what we have going on. Something else that's happening, you'll see about it throughout the St. Louis area. We've talked about traffic a lot in the St. Louis area, and just being as safe as you can. I mean, it's unfortunately been a deadly start to the month of October, including the wrong way accident from Monday. I mean, oh boy, God bless the souls of the people who passed away in that accident on Monday. More information came out, literally driving north on I-70 right before 70, a wrong way driver, 88-year-old man, going the wrong way, middle of the day, hits a Jeep Grand Cherokee. 3 people inside that vehicle all passed away at the scene. The 88-year-old driver, going the wrong way on 170, passed away later at the hospital. So some of that information came out. It's just brutal when these things happen. I mean, last week, you had a 38-year-old woman struck, and she passed away. She was just attempting to cross I-70 near Adelaide. She was waiting for traffic to clear, but then was later struck by an unknown vehicle. And by the way, the vehicle that hit her didn't stop last week. Still looking for that vehicle. That woman died. There was another incident that happened over in Jefferson County. Pedestrian was killed on Highway 30 right near Sugar Creek Road. All of this happening in recent days. So MoDOT is trying to do what they can to remind people, just to be as careful as possible. Maybe people are more, I don't know, adventurous. Maybe we're trying to walk across roads, or whatever the case, or not being as attentive on the roads, maybe being more carefree. So MoDOT is launching a new safety campaign. It's called, and this is October's Pedestrian Safety Awareness Month, ironically. So they've got a new campaign they've started up called Heads Up St. Louis. They're trying to emphasize the importance of vigilance among drivers and pedestrians to prevent further tragedies. And of course, we were talking about some of the tragedies that have happened in recent days and weeks all throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. Yesterday, we were talking about areas and what drivers have done to you, or maybe you've done to others. It's all right to make mistakes. We're going to make mistakes. Maybe you don't want to make a mistake and hit somebody or hurt somebody. But come on, let's be real. Everybody's cut off somebody, right? Haven't you? Maybe not on purpose. Maybe you haven't used your turn lane. Maybe you've had to squeeze in for whatever reason. Whatever. Maybe people have had road rage. Maybe people have yelled, used a finger. I don't know. We talked a little bit about that yesterday, but at the end of the day, we need to be and try to be as safe as possible when it comes to the roads. I don't care what state you live in. Obviously, we talk about the St. Louis area. So just trying to be as safe, cognizant, and respectful as possible. That doesn't mean you're going to get it from other people. That's for sure. But those things can happen. So we're just glad that you guys join us for this show. Arch City Now, Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. You can jump in on X and YouTube and Facebook and give us your comments as well from that standpoint. Something else that's going on right now is the government shutdown. And if you're flying, you could be dealing with delays because less workers are working. The government shutdown is happening. And St. Louis Lambert International Airport said that Tuesday was calm, but that doesn't mean it's going to continue to be the case. They're saying that travelers at airports from Burbank to Nashville to Chicago O'Hare are facing lots of delays as the government shutdown continues. So if you're traveling, work, personal, whatever the case may be, delays could be coming to the St. Louis area airport over at Lambert. Tuesday was fine, but they did say that some of the delays are starting to cause problems. I mean, you shut down the government, or if this is what happens, and then people aren't working, this becomes an issue. Local economist John Horn from WashU says that the closures can have the ripple effect across, pretty much downtown as well. He says, quote, I think it's hard for anyone who relies on visitors who come downtown to spend money on parking, restaurants, other things. Less people are coming to the city, that's for sure. The Arch isn't open. Other places are not open. So these things start to happen. That's why eventually it can start to cause a problem, especially now that we're entering the second week of the government shutdown. They're processing new applications for federal benefits, for Social Security, veterans assistance, and so forth. Those things can be an issue. Finally, with that whole deal, the FAA says it's monitoring staffing levels at air traffic control centers nationwide and urging travelers to check with their airlines for updates on potential delays. I saw something yesterday, right, where they literally had, and they were concerned because we all know how the FAA is, and airport traffic controllers, they had planes being unmonitored at times yesterday. I saw a report because they need workers. These things start to happen. It's like, wait, this is going to affect people. We got to be very careful and, of course, take everything very serious and not for granted. But those are the things that happen with the government shutdown. It just all happens. And the American public are the ones that have to deal with this stuff. So it is what it is. We do what we can do from that standpoint in promoting everything with the show. Jump in on X, Facebook, YouTube if you want. We're promoting doing stories. By the way, if you like to go over to Forest Park, the well-known pedestrian bridge at Forest Park, it's scheduled for demolition in 2 days. Unfortunately, it was hit by a vehicle. So that low clearance bridge right there on Forest Park Parkway is going to be taken down. So that's going to cause some traffic delays. It was recently inspected by the City of St. Louis Board of Public Service, and they said, yeah, it needs to come down. So unfortunately, that will come down. It's the low clearance bridge. That should be done by Monday morning. But during the demolition, which starts on Friday and goes throughout the weekend, if you're going westbound on Forest Park Parkway, that's going to be closed from Kings Highway to DeBoliver. And then if you're going eastbound, that's going to be closed from Union to Kings Highway. So you just need to be aware of that to make sure that you plan if you drive through that area. Because if you don't know, obviously you show up and you're like, damn. And of course, as you know, Murphy's Law, you'll be in a hurry and you'll have to do some sort of detour that's going to really put a little crink in the plan. So just giving you those updates. If anything else is happening, any news updates, things from that standpoint, feel free to share with us as well. You can let us know here on the show, jump in on the chat line, And of course, we'll get that information out to any and all who are doing those shows. We're here Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. Hot Take Central 2.0 follows us. Cam Jansen, former Blues getting in action again. We'll talk about them coming up in the next break. And Jim the Cat Hayes, Cardinals broadcaster. Haven't even really talked baseball yet today. It's not really St. Louis related, but it is baseball, and we're a baseball town, regardless of things not going so well with the Cardinals the last few years. But you can jump in for that show as well today when it comes to that. We'll also talk when we come back. We'll get it out there a little bit more, but MSD and what's happening there. By the way, if you didn't hear, the UFL is coming back. St. Louis still has their team, but they added 3 new cities as well. So they're trying to keep that league going. I like the choices: Orlando, Florida; Columbus, Ohio; and Louisville, Kentucky. Or wait a second. Let's see here. The league, Tuesday, 3 of the 8 teams are changing cities. Orlando, Florida is in, along with Columbus, Ohio, and Louisville, Kentucky. So they're there. San Antonio, Detroit, and Memphis are out when it comes to what's happening. Another update that we got in that they've been talking about and trying to keep those leagues going on. Of course, we like our Battlehawks, and we're still going, believe it or not. People still going to the Battlehawks. So we do well with all those situations in St. Louis. There's no doubt about that. Okay, if anything's happening, let us know. Jump on in. We come back. We'll promote the Blues for tomorrow night. Got a big Mizzou game coming up Saturday. We'll tell you what that point spread is now. Surprising to me a little bit, but people are betting on Missouri. The bigger money is coming in on Missouri. That point spread continues to go down in the midst of everything else. And Dolly Parton and her family asking for prayer, says she's not doing well. So it's part of life. We'll get into it all. Anything else you want to promote, talk about, let us know. 855-282-8255 and jump in on our social media. We are Arch City Now. Producer Rise alongside. I'm Vic Faust. We'll be back with more of the show right after this. We are your Lou information station. We are live and on demand at louinfo.com.
In your city with Kelly and Gordon.
Guys, welcome back into the show. 7:34, just about 7:35. Wednesday morning, happy hump day week going by fast again. At least it seems like it is around here. What another beautiful day in the St. Louis area. Boy, the weather sunny today. Not so much yesterday. Sunny today. Highs in the low 70s. Can it get any better than that? No humidity. Yeah, we'll take it. Enjoy it if you're out and about. Appreciate it. We've got that for the rest of the week. I mean, getting into the low 80s, I guess, by the weekend, but still sunny, and it's a different kind of warm temperature where you don't have that humidity, which is really, really good. What a great time of the year in the St. Louis area. So if you can get outside and enjoy it, do so. If there's any plans that are going on, let us know. If there's a favorite patio that you like to go to, maybe for dinner, drink it, whatever the case may be, promote it, get it out there. People jump in on the show occasionally. They promote their restaurants, they promote their bars, they promote their whatever's coming up. And of course, we like to do that for you as well. If you want to, you can jump in on X, Facebook, YouTube, producer Ryan alongside. I'm Vic Faust, always talking St. Louis, getting you up in the mornings. If there's a business, a charity, whatever the case, let us know. If there's a Gen Z person that you would like to promote today, we were doing that too, as that topic came up as well. Okay, Blues get into action tomorrow night. Season begins. That's right. A lot of hype around the team because they have a lot of talent. They've really put it together, gave us reasons for hope last year. Looked like the preseason camp was pretty good. And now it's about going to the game experience. The Blues have put out some of the new food offerings that they have for the season. If you're going over there to the game, what you do is you just go there, give yourself enough time. You can look at maps. They have where things are located right there in the stadium over there at Enterprise, which is a terrific place to watch a game. But they have some more items that are being added this year. We told you about crumble cookies, and they've also got a new gastro pub stand, which will be nice. Now, they're going to offer the normal kind of cookies that they have over there, but at the same point in time, they'll have a special Blues edition that will only be sold at Enterprise. And you can go check that out at the mezzanine level at Portal 52. Mezzanine level at Portal 52. But on the plaza level, fans can try out Gastropub, and that's kind of what they would consider the Blues in-house concession area. So they've got a steak sandwich on garlic toast. They have honey stung chicken tenders and a chicken sandwich. All kinds of wings, all kinds of flavors, literally. I won't even have to go through it all. They've got the chili cheese hot dog, the corn dogs, the dill pickles, warm brownie mug sundae. So they've got it all when you're going over to watch the on ice action, off ice. That's all being cared of as well. But they've also got some new food with the Rosalitas Cantalina, and they've got the walk stand as well. New options. They got a mini donut stand, the Ramblin' Rounds. They've also got High Point Drive-In locally, Steve's Hot Dogs, Chicken Out, Sugar Fire, Isis Plain and Fancy, Farm Truck, all returning this season. Literally, you can also download a Blues app. Literally, download the Blues app on your phone, and they'll take you all through all kinds of stuff that they have there. I mean, just happening for the season. And, of course, Blues games are always great to go to as well. Lots of energy. And, of course, when there being some good anticipation with this still being a younger team, or at least a lot of younger players, to see where they're going to be this year, how they're going to start. Obviously, tomorrow night, the first game in Minnesota. What's also interesting, I think, about the scheduling this year when it comes to the Blues is the fact that they play a home game tomorrow night, kick off the season against Minnesota. Then they leave for 2 weeks, or not 2 weeks, but they leave for 2 games. Then they come back for 4 games. So you can really see a lot of Blues hockey early in the month of October. I believe it's 7 total home games in the month of October. Lots of action for you to check out. So that's pretty cool that you get a chance to see and continue to support this team, not only now, but through the rest of the season. Also, as we were promoting, a big game coming up Saturday in Columbia. Earlier this year, Mizzou had the highest average ticket for a game. I think it was well over $200 for the Mizzou-Kansas game, and that was an incredible experience if you had a chance to go. But now for their game against Alabama this week, which could be, for all intents and purposes, and what is surrounding the game, it's one of the biggest games ever in Columbia, with Alabama coming. Number 8 Alabama versus number 14 Missouri. Missouri undefeated. Alabama one loss that started the season. Well, that line for the game, the betting line, the experts in Vegas had it at 5. Alabama favored by 5 points. that line has gone down to 2.5 points for the game. Clearly money coming in on Missouri. So that should get people excited. Maybe, maybe not. But literally going down to 2.5 points. So people feeling as if Missouri can not only make this a close game, but win this game. Playing at home with the kind of talent that they have, something that we really haven't seen. And Missouri has not been able to beat Alabama since they've been in the SEC. And they've beaten everybody else. They just have not been able to beat Alabama. Well, you have your opportunity. Saturday in Columbia, beautiful weather, 11 a.m. start time. The Tigers looking to take care of business. What an interesting thing that should be. Go Mizzou, MIZ, STL, and of course the MIZ STL show will be at 10 o'clock today. You can watch and listen to that with Grant Salzman. He has a cast of characters every now and then. It's also the show that I co-host with him on Monday. So Mizzou getting in, getting out, and seeing what they can get done coming up this week. Other things from a standpoint of giving updates, headlines, we haven't gotten into it yet. The entire day, baseball last night, Aaron Judge, huge 3-run homer. Guys, he's hitting 500 in the playoffs. Yankees were down 2-0. They won last night. They took care of business at home. They have another game today. And it is a big day of baseball, if that's your thing. You've got the Mariners and the Tigers playing in Detroit. Seattle's up 2-1 in that series. That's at 2 o'clock. Then just after 4 o'clock, the Brewers play the Cubs. The Brewers lead that series 2-0. Then tonight at about 6 o'clock or just after 6, the Blue Jays playing back at the Yankees. Toronto leads that series 2-1. Yankees trying to even that series up. And then you've got the Phillies playing at the Dodgers, and the Dodgers lead that series 2-0, and they're playing in LA. They have a stranglehold on that series right now. So that's what's happening from a baseball standpoint as the playoffs continue on this season. Looking forward to where the Cardinals will be coming up in years to come. By the way, if you're playing the Mega Millions, that's up to almost 600 million again. Last night, no winners. So we continue on. We get your tickets, do numbers from that standpoint. We'd like to give those updates when they come down the line. A lot of people remember Bob Ross, Mr. Bob Ross, little Van Dyke Brown, Happy Tree here, Happy Mountain over here. Bob Ross paintings are being auctioned off to try to help funding from public television. Some of that funding was cut when it came to, whether or not right programming, diverse programming, equal programming to all situations, businesses, parties were being taken care of. So programming was cut. So what they're trying to do now is, PBS's own, Bob Ross, incredible painter, known for his Afro hairstyle and his very calm demeanor, Air Force drill sergeant turned very calm man, painting, very peaceful, very calm. Anyway, 30 of his paintings are going to be auctioned off to try to help fund public television. It's expected to garner about $1 million, bare minimum. Some of his previous works averaged around $100,000 or over $100,000 per item. So they're really hopeful that this is going to help. Of course, he had The Joy of Painting, which was super popular for so long. And people might forget, but he passed away after battling cancer for about 11 years. He passed away back in 1995. So it's been a while, but just loved watching him on PBS, The Joy of Painting. People still watch him all these years later. It doesn't have to be some fancy production. It just has to be quality, and that was quality content. That's for sure. Another big story that came out today, MSD decided to take the route of posting publicly the people that owe them money, big corporations included, over $100 million. How this even gets to this point, I have no idea, but it is at that point. So the Metropolitan St. Louis Sewer District is owed more than $100 million, thousands of accounts, but 10 of them You're talking about millions themselves. So what they decided to do was just post it locally. It's very difficult for them to turn service off because it affects other people in that area. And then you get into the water situation as well. It's complicated. It's not impossible. However, they would rather people, companies, businesses get on payment plans and try to take care of it. And then you see some of the amount of money. And there's some circumstances for them being owed so much money, like Northern Village Apartments in the St. Louis area, delinquent over $401,000 for a sewer district bill. So while, Fox was over there doing a story on it, a representative with the Northern Village complex came out and said, we just purchased the property. We didn't know about the bill, but we plan to take care of it. Okay. That can happen. I was doing some other business. I was down at the Paul Brown Lofts. Been around forever, 20s. Found out they were just purchased by a company out of Atlanta. That was about a month ago. Yeah, about a month ago. And they're taking care of a lot of issues with that facility. So that can happen. I guess sometimes some bills can go unnoticed, but you're also talking about, how about the city of Kinloch? The city of Kinloch goes over $407,000 to MSD. And nobody even talked about that. Nobody would go on camera. Nobody would talk about that situation. It's a lot of money to owe the sewer district when you're a city. That's for sure. Carr Square Tenant Corp. That's CARR. Another housing company owing massive amounts of money. They say that they'll be taking care of that within 12 months. So MSD, just trying to go public, put a little pressure on these companies to help pay some bills because it's a lot of outstanding money for sure. Used to look at some of these groups. How about SA Hospital Group? They were tied to the now abandoned St. Alexius Hospital property. So, that's over $365,000. Other delinquent accounts, Etzel Place. I mean, you're looking at $240,000. Social Betterment Properties, over $371,000. We Did It, LLC, court records showing over $281,000 on these properties and people that owe. So MSD says, two private individuals are also on the top 10 list, but MSD said it can't provide those names for privacy reasons. So they said that they don't bring in any profits, and that means that any dollar that they're not collecting is a dollar that's being brought in from people who are actually paying. That's a problem. That's a real problem, especially if you're paying your bills. So that's why they're trying to do whatever they can to get that information out. Certainly makes sense to me when it comes to a big story in the St. Louis area. So they're looking for new ways to hold debtors accountable so that the delinquent accounts don't continue to drain those who are paying. They also added that 65,000 other accounts are behind, but they do offer assistance programs to help those in need as well. They just said you need to get on it. Sign up for a plan, get on it, and stick to the plan when you come to some of the situations that these people are dealing with right now. I get it. Those things can happen. By the way, you never know when somebody could strike or something. The Dave's Hot Chicken in the Chesterfield Valley the other night, robber went in with a gun about midnight and demanded money, ran out with a bag of cash. They were able to find him a short time later. Chesterfield police do a really good job. So they were able to get a description. The guy struggled with the manager. I mean, you're a manager there and somebody comes in with a gun trying to take money. Imagine putting yourself in that situation. It happens. People deal with those, but it's just very interesting to see these things when they do happen and people who have to deal with that situation as well. Another story headline, it's a deeper one. It's out on KSDK. You can go in and check it all out for yourself if you wanted to. But it's a report from the St. Louis Realtors Association. It details significant racial discrimination in the housing market from where they're putting their ideas on things that are happening. And kind of some of the things and why they're happening. Maybe you don't know all the time, but it analyzed 75,000 home purchases in St. Louis City and County and found that Black home buyers are facing higher mortgage denial rates in all neighborhood types. Well, are there reasons for that? Is it a racial disparity? Why? Are there reasons for that happening? That's what some of this was trying to explain. They said the average income or household income couples is over 80,000 compared to 150 for non-Black couples. The median credit score for Black home buyers is 718 for non. But are there reasons for that? This contributes to a stark difference in purchasing power. So the median home price for a Black buyer is 195 compared to 307 for non-Black buyers. So it shows you where they are, but why are the situations the way that they are in the first place? That's what the report should also get into from that standpoint. Doesn't really break all of that down, but they do show trends. And that's why they did that from that standpoint, to try to help people understand where the market is, what's happening in the housing industry, and why. Are not saying that they're discriminatory. It's just because I don't know if they're not really saying that. It just says that it addresses some systematic issues, including maybe expanding access to affordable mortgage credit, boosting housing supply, increasing credit counseling, and financial literacy programs. So maybe even providing more access to down payment assistance to try to help that. But it's called the Reimagining St. Louis Report. You can check that out. As I said, I saw that story over there on KSDK. Appreciate them doing what they did from that standpoint and putting it out there. If you weren't with us a little bit earlier, Steak and Shake as well, trying to become or wanting to become or claiming they are the most patriotic fast food restaurant in America. So what they're going to do is they're going to put flags, massive flags, up at their 400 plus locations around the country. They're in 24 states, by the way. As big of a flag as their city allows them to fly, because they say they want to promote American values and they want to promote everything that is about the American flag. So they've already begun at every Steak and Shake. So if you're driving around the St. Louis area and you see a Steak and Shake and a big new flag, you'll know why. That's what Steak and Shake is trying to do right now, to promote themselves as the company that is about America, our heritage, our culture, our values, and where we are headed. So they kind of jumped into this when Cracker Barrel Bud Lighted themselves back in August, when they tried to change everything they were and kind of forgot about who they were and how they became so great. So Steak and Shake kind of jumped in on it. It was brilliant from their marketing team to take advantage of a situation where somebody else in the company made a mistake, a huge mistake, and they've used it to their advantage now. And now they're doubling down with these flags as well. So just giving you an idea, something you may be seeing out in the area, something you may see all around. No surprise when it comes to people getting excited about seeing others promote what you can get from that standpoint. By the way, somebody told me, I didn't tell you, the price of that Mizzou, the average price of the Mizzou, Alabama ticket this week is $178. How about this for a college ticket? Oklahoma, Texas this week. Texas has been down in the dumps. One of the top 2 ranked teams in America to start the season and not even ranked. Texas OU this weekend, $315. That's the average price. You're going to be paying a whole lot more if you don't have your tickets yet. You've also got Auburn at Georgia. That's a $226 ticket. Tennessee at Arkansas, $211. USC at Michigan, $202. Then at 5, you've got Missouri and Alabama, with that game averaging about $178 a ticket. That's a lot of money. The Mizzou Kansas ticket, I think, was over $200 as well when they played a little bit earlier in the year too. So the price is going up for those games as well. It's supply and demand. People want to go and do that. A couple other things before we get out of here today. Shout out. We haven't talked about it yet on this show. Other shows probably have. Former Blue, very popular guy, TJ Oshie, is now an NHL studio analyst for this season. Watched him yesterday. Thought he did a pretty good job. Good to see TJ finding something to do post-hockey, just like our very own Cam Jansen. We get Cam Jansen in front of the TV over there. Get him on NHL. ESPN hired him. Let's get Cam out there.
That would be inspirational for the St. Louis community.
By the way, Cam, the former Blue, and Jim Hayes, Cardinals broadcaster, coming up following our show in a few minutes. They do their show, very entertaining show, Hot Take Central 2.0 every day, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 o'clock. And of course, we told you about the MIZSTL show from 10 to 11 today. And then, of course, Charlie Tuna from 11 to 1 and his posse that comes into the studio every day to do their entertaining show as well. Love to end on positive notes. As you know, we jump around, we do a lot, we talk a lot. But another story from Wallet Hub, unfortunately, ranks Missouri as the 10th most unsafe state in America. And there are a variety of issues, and we know a lot of it can be because of crime, but not just St. Louis, but Kansas City. And, it's been some things in Columbia, Missouri as of recent too. So not just thrown that way. Also tonight, the concert goers, we were told about a concert over at the Factory in Chesterfield, beautiful venue. Ziggy Marley and Burning Star will be performing there tonight. They also have Napoleon Dynamite Live tomorrow night, that over at the Factory in the Chesterfield Valley as well. So we promote those as well when we're told about those shows. So just keeping us posted. And we just want to say thanks again for always jumping in on the Facebook chat, watching us on Facebook. Appreciate it when you guys jump into the show, when you let others know what we're doing, what we're about. It helps us promote the show, everything else that we've got going on as well. So thank you for doing that. Yes. Let me see here. Yeah, I was just looking at some of the comments. Sorry, I couldn't get to all the rest of the comments today. Oh, Kachuk, go Blues. Yeah, we appreciate it. Thanks for jumping in on the show today. We are Arch City now. For Ryan, for Bry Guy, I'm Vic Faust. This is Arch City Now. Hot Take Central 2.0 is coming up. Remember, we are your Lou information station. We are live and on demand at louinfo.com. We're here every Monday through Friday, 6 in the morning till 8 o'clock. If you have show guest ideas, let us know. We'll get into it. We'll get the interviews that you want to, anything and everything. It doesn't matter. We just love to promote St. Louis. We love to talk about everything that is in this town. Obviously, enjoy the weather today. We talked about that. It's absolutely gorgeous outside. And we said it earlier, we like to stay positive. As Ryan said, a lot of times things happen. Life's. Right? Is that your quote? Life.
Yeah, sometimes life just lifes.
Life is good a life. Not to be confused with the math ain't mapping. It just ain't. We appreciate it, guys. Thanks for jumping in today. A lot of fun. We will see you tomorrow. Have a great day. That does it for our show. Hot Take Central 2.0 is coming up next.